We are going to win as conservatives if we solve problems by reforming things for everybody. Everybody could be a conservative if we make our case and we fix things for them so that they can rise up. That should be our message and our mission.
Presidential candidate Jeb Bush trying to sell himself to conservatives, and that was earlier today in Iowa. But conservative Crystal Wright just isn't buying it. Crystal, why not? I mean, he's been going on the offensive, and he's trying to prove that he's one of the gang, that he is a true diehard conservative.
Well, Charles, I'm not the only conservative not buying what Jeb is slinging. I mean, here's my question to Jeb Bush. Where's this joyful candidate, Jeb? You talked about running as a joyful conservative candidate for president last year, and all I heard in that clip and all I see is a petulant, angry man lecturing everybody what a conservative is. Hey, Jeb, stop talking about being a conservative and show us you're a conservative.
So in addition to, I guess, you know, the jovialness and maybe the enthusiasm or lack of energy, because Donald Trump keeps pointing to his lack of energy, but what is it about his policies or what he believes in, his core beliefs, that really don't make him a true conservative for you?
Well, I think it's not it's not just about me, but I think Jeb Bush needs to articulate what his true conservative policies are, because frankly, I'm confused. Last year, Jeb Bush in April came out and said the reason why illegal immigrants come here is because they're doing it out of an act of love. Okay, so that was clearly Jeb Bush supporting amnesty. Then yesterday or this week, he lectured us again and said, you know, we shouldn't say hurtful things about illegals, but then the next breath out of his mouth was talking about anchor babies, right? So I want Jeb Bush to articulate his clear position on what he's going to do about securing our borders and dealing with illegal immigrants. He hasn't really talked about that all of a sudden. Oh, does it have to do with Donald Trump, maybe? I mean, you know, I think it's squishy. I just don't know where Jeb Bush is anymore.
Well, let's face it. I mean, that's the elephant in the room for all of the Republicans right now. And just as Hillary might be being pulled to the left by Bernie Sanders, or more to the left, if you will, it feels like these guys are going to have to retool their game or find a better way to articulate it. But I don't think a lot of people think of Jeb Bush as being a true hard conservative. Most conservatives I know would call him a rhino, which is a derogatory term maybe, but Republican in name only. But I know very few people that really think he's a dyed-in-the-wool conservative.
Well, I think you're right about that. And again, I go back to his position on immigration and also education. We know Jeb Bush supports standards, Common Core, right? Look, I don't like derogatory terms. I think the biggest problem that the party has right now is we call people names. We say, oh, that Tea Party or that rhino. That's the problem we have right now. And I think Jeb Bush can be whoever he is, but he needs to articulate with enthusiasm what he's for, not keep deriding Donald Trump for what Donald Trump represents. I mean, here's the thing. Trump talks, polls go up. Jeb Bush talks, everybody falls asleep.
So speaking of which, by the way, I want to show the stadium. I think we've got a shot at that stadium, the football stadium. Look at this. People are starting to trickle in this thing. That thing is going to be packed to the gills. I mean, can you imagine that? He started out, I was down in Mobile a year ago. I think I knew where he was going to be. It was a small room. It went to a larger ballroom, to a convention center, and now to a football stadium. So maybe the Jeb Bushes of the world have to say the things that they have to say. But again, as far as being a conservative, I don't think Jeb Bush is there just yet. Crystal, we got to go. Got a hard out right now. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Hey, speaking of Jeb, the market took a real serious hit today. The big question for investors is, can it get back up?